our next episode of Swami Shivanand Vani, Mahapurushji's talks on spiritual literature. So let us see. This is more of a conversation. Hope you are enjoying it. We are putting it up in a chronological order, जैसे आपने ज़रूर सुना होगा बाकी पार्ट्स भी. तो आइए आपको लेके चलते हैं आज के टॉपिक पर. So today we are going to talk about M's death. M, in other words, Mahendranath Gupta, who had written the Gospels of Sri Ramakrishna. We're talking about M's death. M's death, a great loss. M was filled with thoughts of the Master, his valuable contribution, the Gospels of Sri Ramakrishna. Jagah phir se, it's belurmath, and time is Saturday, June 4th, 1932. Mahapurushji had not been well at all. He had high blood pressure and did not sleep very well the previous night. The morning brought very bad news. Revered M. Mahendranath Gupta, author of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, left his mortal body at 6:15 a.m. and was united with the Master. He was 78 years of age when he passed away. Upon hearing this news, Mahapurushji was grief-stricken and sat silent. Unable to control his feelings any longer, he gently remarked to the sadhu and devotees who were close by, "The Master placed me in such a position that I could not even go and see him before his death. One by one, the Master is taking away his devotees, leaving me here to bear the brunt of the grief. He alone knows what he wills." Ah, M lived in Calcutta. He illumining the entire city as it were. How many devotees would visit him and hear from him the Master's words and be filled with peace. This loss will never be made good. He had nothing else to discuss but the words of the Master. His life was filled with the Master. How dearly the Master loved him. He spent many days at Dakshineshwar. M was very simple as regards his food. Now he'll be talking about Master Mahashay. Living mostly on milk and rice. The Master himself arranged through the maidservant for a pint of good milk for him every day. M had a very strong body. That is why he could do so much of the Master's work. Whatever he would hear from the Master, he would note down in his diary after going home. Later, from those notes, he wrote that wonderful Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. He had a prodigious memory. He jotted down just meager notes, and later, from those notes, by exercising his memory through meditation, he developed the Gospel. He belonged to the group of Sri Ramakrishna's intimate disciples. The Master brought M with him for that particular work. So, to say, M would visit him every Saturday and Sunday or any holiday. He would also see him when the Master would come to Calcutta or whenever the Master would be visiting. When interesting subjects were being discussed and there was a big crowd, all of a sudden, Sri Ramakrishna would say to M, "M, did you understand?" Note that point well. Sometimes the Master would repeat certain points. We did not realize then why the Master spoke to M that way. The Master's words were so impressive that I too started making notes. One day at Dakshineshwar, I was listening to the master, looking intently at his face. Many beautiful things were being discussed. Noticing my attitude and diving and divining my intention, suddenly the master said, "Look here, what you listening to so attentively for?" I was taken by surprise. The master then said, "You don't have to do that. Your life is different." I felt as if the master had divided my intention to take notes, and that was why he spoke that way. So the master had understood. From that time on, I gave up the idea of making notes of his conversation, and whatever notes I had, I threw into the Ganga. The next morning, some devotees came to the monastery from Calcutta. All of them had associated with M and served him devoutly for a long time. They were all grief stricken over his passing away. Upon hearing from them the details of M's death, Mahapurushji affectionately remarked, "Ah, it is a great blow to you. This bereavement is fresh. No words from anyone will assuage this grief." Where is Binoy? It must be a great blow to him also. He stayed with him for such a long time and served him very devoutly. What is to be done? No one has any control over this. Sri Ramakrishna is taking away his devotees, but we know the relationship of M with us and with the Master is eternal. Do you understand? This relationship is imperishable. Never think for a moment that M passed away and that there has been an end of everything. Never. So everything never ends. It stays. वो है यहीं पे हमारे साथ. After a long conversation in this vein, Mahapurushji consoled the devotees and while bidding them goodbye, blessed them and said, "What fear is there, my children? The Master is living in a spiritual sense, and we are still in flesh. Whenever you find time, do come to the monastery." When the devotees had left, Mahapurushji said, "Ah, M was like a refuge to the devotees, a haven of peace to many. Especially after Sharat Maharaj's passing away, many devotees used to go to M, and he would give peace to the hearts of many by speaking untiringly to them about the Master. This loss cannot be filled. He was a holy soul. What great work of the Master he accomplished! Even if he had written only one volume of the Gospel, it would have immortalized him. His work is imperishable. So the Gospels have made Mahapurush Maharaj is saying that the Gospels have made M immortal, talking about Sri Ramakrishna. And we get to know about Sri Ramakrishna through these Gospels. Hope this episode was good and you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. If you have enjoyed it, do share it with your friends and family. And do like our videos. Subscribe to our channel. Till then, keep watching Devakshar. Thank you so much for being with us. Namaskar.